Yo, hi YouTube. We are back with the jobless community. Oh, me, Z. Chrisean Rock doesn't deserve to be a mother. I haven't heard anything about Chrisean in like a year or some change. Whenever Blueface went to jail, I stopped hearing about Chrisean. But also, I kind of blocked their names on Twitter at that time, so I kind of, wasn't keeping up. But let's see what's going on now, and let's see what's happening. Let's watch. Disclaimer.
Baby no more. I'm getting a
Why? I don't believe in that.
This is the face, that's the lower lip, upper lip. You are 20 weeks pregnant.
Was it too late?
Yes.
Girl, hell yeah!
He's just making it complicated for her because why tell me you want a baby? I got rid of his kids plenty of times before that. You feel me? I was ready to get rid of this one. He don't want it no more. Fuck it. Alright? I don't want to have a baby no more. Y'all keep saying this other shit. Y'all want to be the Let me just get this and leave it alone.
So why can you give a child a lifelong ailment deliberately and it's all okay?
So normally I stay out of two types of conversations on the internet where people are forced to give their opinions on somebody's relationship. I'm not parasocial FC enough for that. And then also when people are forced to give some sort of opinions on people's children. There are too many factors that go into it that make me not comfortable with doing it. But when I saw this clip of Chrisean Rock on a podcast, I had to say something.
Blueface doesn't seem active in a child's life because of his disability. My son does not have a disability. He is developing at his own pace and hitting his milestones in his own time. Every child is different, and I'm confident in his growth. If I said it, he had a disability, then he... Right, but it's like, don't tell me. I ain't saying, not even just that. It's like saying if someone, a doctor, anybody speak against your kid or yourself, nigga, you should not accept it, bro. Yeah, anybody, sure. If they're guessing or whatever, no, the word said what the word said. God said what the God says.
If you're new to this channel, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way. Join this community. It's a pretty good one if I do say so myself. Now, back into the video. Whether it be the situation that happened when she was on Chrisean Rock's stream.
Yeah, because this one little...
Oh my god, this was so long ago.
You put a hole.
What year was this?
You can fix it.
Whether it be the multiple fights that she has with her baby's father, Blueface, which we'll get to in a second, or whether it just be the general crash outedness on the internet, it's fair to say that Chrisean Rock has a very, very bad name. But as of late, I got skeptical about her. I had seen some different commentary about her wanting to turn her life around, especially now that she has a child in her life, and she is looking to grow bigger and better and greater than ever before.
Well, let's get to internet like Chopper. I text him. I said, speaking negatively over a child is serious in God's eyes. Scripture tells us life and death is over the power of the tongue, and I won't allow harmful words to be spoken over my son. Please remove my child from your speech and keep him covered, not cursed. Do you have to spread hate because you think it's a way to sell a brand? I've been there before. Be careful on speaking about children and people that's literally covered by Jesus. And I pray God heals you from the things you don't talk about.
And to be quite honest with you,
okay, I kind of agree with that. Like, please don't be speaking over my son and his life, and you know what I'm saying, you don't know him or whatever. I can agree with that.
That growth is something that is refreshing. I love to see people on the internet change their persona totally and try to go down a totally new path. Seems like Chrisean Rock has found some higher power, and it is guiding her in a direction where she's not crashing out at any given moment. But I will say there may be some levels of religious psychosis that we're gonna have to unpack. But as I continue to watch this podcast, Chrisean Rock said something that is not only insane, but also very, very dangerous. It had something to do with her son and his perceived disabilities, whether it be by a community at large or medical clearing of said disabilities. Now, again, I don't necessarily have any sorts of commentary about parenting and opinions on people's kids and different things like that. Maybe 2 cents at best, but I know that there are so many factors, and I would never want to be a part of people that label kids as different things, etc., etc. And we'll get to some specifics more about the child in general, but I think that when people saw Chrisean and Blueface's child off the initial, they had major, and I do mean major, concerns about his health, safety, and well-being. I stayed silent until this clip.
Blueface doesn't seem active in a child's life because of his disability. My son does not have a disability. He is developing at his own pace and hitting his milestones in his own timing. Every child is different, and I'm confident in his growth. If I said it, he had a disability, then he... But it's like,
now, up until this moment, I was probably on her side, especially because I don't know the child. But people putting disabilities, labels, and all these other things on kids, literally children, to me is weird. The way that we quarterback from the keyboard is a strange concept, and I don't necessarily get involved with it. I told you guys, I stay away from the relationships and the kid. But when she got to the point where she alludes to the fact that she has a medical diagnosis that she's ignoring, that's where the things fall off the rail.
not even just that. It's like, say if someone, a doctor, anybody speak against your kid or yourself, then you should not accept it, bro. Anybody. If they're guessing or whatever, no. The word said what the word said. God said what the God says. I don't have to accept what you. So it's really like me, like, protecting a revelation that I heard from the Lord over my son.
Yeah, that's not you protecting. That's you actively putting your child in harm's way. It's one thing to have Gary or Latricia, who work at the Amazon warehouse, speculate about what's going on with your child based off of a 13-second edited clip. It's a difference when a doctor who has access to blood work, who has access to the genetic makeup of the child, who has access to a bunch of different factual things about said child in front of them, making a conclusion based off of what they see. I'm no parent, but from my understanding, there are certain tests that people run, visual tests, that say if a child has some sort of disability, developmental delay, etc., etc. Let's say the list is about 20 things. The doctor says, hey, yeah, we see about 15 of these signs.
My only thing is, I hope that, okay, you could say, okay, I just don't take whatever a doctor said. I believe full-heartedly you guys should do whatever you think is best for your children, because you have to raise that child. But I hope you're not just like willful ignorance, like you don't want it to be, or like you don't. Oh my God, that was so creepy. Like, okay, if you said like one doctor, I hope that you know, did your research and like, okay, so I'm gonna get a second opinion or a third opinion, and if there's even any steps to need to be taken, if there is something, like just to make sure that my child is healthy and growing and I'm giving him the best life that he can possibly have. That's all I hope. Okay, that's all I hope and pray. But yeah, you can say like, oh, okay, like I don't agree with this one doctor, but let me go get another medical professional's opinion. You know what I'm saying? That's normal. People get multiple medical professional opinions. In fact, that's actually encouraged. Like, hey, not every doctor is certified in everything, but I hope you're not taking one and dismissing it completely. Like, go get follow up on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a doctor. I can't say what, when, where, why, how, but you know what I'm saying?
Challenge and be a little bit speculative of. Why? Because the next month
with Jolly Rancher Lean, Chris, only you knew that existed. Literally, only you knew that existed. And what does that say about you?
In my experience, I've seen kids have 15 things go all the way down to having 1, 2, or maybe none of those signs. But if the doctor does say that there's something genetically wrong with your child, then something is genetically wrong with your child. And if you look at all the evidence as to how the child got here, you know, leading up to and then since the child has been born, I think it's pretty clear how people, specifically your doctor, has come to said conclusion. It's no secret that Chrisean Rock and Blueface have a toxic-filled environment.
Are they still
That's why I was saying I never
together?
really got to finish my season for real. I ended up getting locked up and shit. The bounty hunters came and got me.
Oh, you got locked up too?
Mm-hmm.
What'd you go for?
Warrants.
Oh.
Blueface snitched on me, talking about something. I stole his car.
Did you take his whip?
That was my shit.
Right, dude. Bro, that's not good, bro.
You weren't even. Was I even live that day? Well, you don't even know where I was. You have no proof of contact between me and you on that day.
And that stuff is all before the baby. Even
Damn.
His whip?
That was my shit.
Is that Chrisean and him?
Bro, that's not good, bro. Damn, dude.
And that stuff is all before the baby. Even to this day, Chrisean Rock and Blueface have a toxic relationship. Blueface coming to the internet publicly claiming that this baby is not his biological child. His father is actually deceased. And that the only reason why she's trying to continue on saying that this is his baby is to continue to have his name in some sort of negative light, you know, potentially reap some benefits of child support, etc., etc. Blueface is going even as far as to make rap songs calling Chrisean Jr. a dumb baby.
And then it's dumb bitch. If we have a baby, then it's probably gonna be dumb bitch. Fuck.
You try to keep a window open for like him being a dad, but it's like, well, we would come over so you could be a dad, but I really want to be so trusting that I could just drop him off. This is your kid. But it's like you over here making rap songs calling him a dumb baby. And then
Yeah,
you
I
talking
wouldn't
about
leave my
his
kid with
hair. So
him.
now you cyberbullying our kid. He
Yeah,
can't
that's
even
crazy.
defend himself.
Again, how they handle their relationship situation is...
Also, if you don't think that's your son, get a DNA test. Get a DNA test. Take him to go get a DNA test.
totally between them. That's why I don't cover them on this channel. It's toxic,
Maybe
it's
yes.
personal, and it's just plain messy. But what I will say is that during these back and forths, Blueface's mother came out to the internet and gave a very interesting revelation.
Carissa.
She claimed in an Instagram story that 5 months into the pregnancy, Chrisean and Blueface were made aware that Chrisean Jr., the baby in question, would have some sort of disabilities, which at this point attributes back to what I was saying earlier, where we're not talking about speculative, okay, this person is learning at a later or slower pace than another person. These are definitive chromosome, genome, genetic, DNA type issues that are going on here. And again, I'm no doctor, but if you saw the way that she carried her pregnancy, then I think it would make a lot of sense as to how these things could be some sort of conclusion today.
He's just making it complicated for her because, well, tell me you want a baby. This him saying, have my baby be my family. I'm like, yeah, all right, okay. I'm not saying it because of the money. I'm not saying it because it's none of that. I got rid of his kids plenty of times before that. You feel me? I was ready to get rid of this one. He don't want it no more. Fuck it. All right? I went there and seen that shit face, the heartbeat, that shit like ate me alive. I'm like, I was hurt a couple times when I got those abortions, but this never hurt me this time. Like,
This is the face, that's the lower lip, upper lip. You are 20 weeks pregnant.
was it too late?
Yeah, it's too late.
Although there was an initial excitement about a baby to be had,
Why would
because
you just
Chrisean
have a
and
baby
Blueface
'cause-
ultimately planned this pregnancy, that quickly
I have to watch my words with domestic relationships because a lot of things don't.
shifted into Chrisean saying that she wanted to get rid of it. She no longer wanted to have the baby. She started to come to some sorts of realization about the toxicity in the relationship. She wanted it to no longer exist. But ultimately, there were family members that were in front of her that persuaded her and stopped her from getting said aberration.
I don't have a baby no more. I'm getting a
Why? I don't believe in that. Well, give it to me.
hell no.
I don't believe that. And I had 12.
I don't want to have a baby.
Dang!
Keep saying this other shit. Y'all want me to decide. Let me just get this and leave it alone.
See, this is why I don't believe in forcing women to, because then, and this is no shade to Chrisean, but then you have situations like these.
Oh, my emotions. I love you.
Let her make her own decision.
My sister, you're strong enough for this. I can have a baby in a happy relationship. I can have a child. You can. When I'm cool. I'm not cool right now.
In case you didn't know, I am a your body, your choice type of person. But ultimately, none of these things would matter in the grand scheme of it, specifically from the perspective of me formulating some sort of an opinion. Again, complex family dynamic. I'm not getting in between that. But what will precede her not being able to get said
that's her
aberration
mama?
would be disgusting. Since the family would not give her the blessing of going on and handling the situation how she saw fit, Chrisean Rock decided to take things into her own hand. She wasn't going to change her lifestyle. Not for a bump, not for a lump, and not for a baby that was on the way.
Because we all was drinking, even you, with the baby and stuff. Why are you lying?
Bring that flute out in real life, though. Ladies, one more time.
Get yourself together.
Where the bottle at? Oh my gosh. She asked for another bottle. I'm just gonna get on liquor. Yes, I can. I can abort the child tomorrow. It won't hurt me.
Maybe that was her goal, was drinking. Maybe that was her goal. Like, maybe she ended up, growing attached to the pregnancies, but maybe in the early stages when she was drinking and like she was like, I don't want this baby, her like hope was like, okay, maybe if I do these toxic substances that you're not supposed to do, I will have a natural, or not a natural, but you know what I'm saying? I won't have to go to a clinic I can just have because I didn't put what's in my body that's right. You know what I'm saying?
When they were here last time, him and Chrisean was pregnant. Y'all were doing all that smoking and drinking here in the thing.
on camera multiple times with multiple people, and nobody's innocent in this situation. In one of those videos, I do see Blueface in the club with her. I do see people saying that they were doing interviews with her, basically enabling the behavior because they were crashing out in real time. And the views were hitting, but what would to come is reality. Now, granted, addiction is real. I'm not putting that past anybody. But that does not mean that people should have had Chrisean and Blueface on their platform knowing that she was pregnant and drinking and smoking while in their presence. It's kind of disgusting. This is why the internet formulated the opinions that they had on how they would take care of the baby, how they would handle him once he was born, and the concerns started pouring in. The microscope got bigger and everybody decided that they were gonna psychoanalyze the situation. We see things like Chrisean update pages pop up following the baby and any glimpses that they could get of it, making these...
That is extremely creepy. Get a life and a job. One or the other. Why are you making an update page on following her child? You know, I get it. Like, seeing it play out in real life is like, wow. Like, we watched her drink pregnant. We watched their abusive relationship unfold on the internet. We watched, you know what I'm saying? Like, it gets to this point. But I still think we still don't know these people. You don't know these people. I don't know these people. And you will never know them people. You know what I'm saying? Like, it gets to a point, it's psycho. It is literally psycho. And then to go as far as following the child, like, that's still a child. You know what I'm saying? I remember that there were pages with daily updates. Like, that's kind of crazy. Like, in my opinion, that's kind of crazy. I agree with Omeezy in the beginning. He said, like, you know, one thing I can't get parasocial with is relationships and children. I can't, because you don't know these people. You literally do not know these people, bro. Like, I think people really lose the plot.
Conclusions, making these statements, saying that, yo, there's something wrong with this child. And for what it's worth, people were justified in their deduction as to how they were handling this child and the outcomes that were going to happen. The way that they were handling this baby was absolutely disgusting.
It's like throwing a baby in water, you got to swim. Like, you know what I mean? Figure it out.
Let's get the battle.
The internet tried to intervene. Chrisean's update page, which sounds the most like insane thing in the world, was called CPS, and I'm assuming others would as well.
I wouldn't tell, no shade. I wouldn't tell y'all niggas shit. Y'all literally, like, I wouldn't tell y'all niggas shit. No shade, but like, you literally never know who's watching you, or like if they're crazy or nothing. Like, I wouldn't tell y'all if I was in a relationship. I wouldn't tell y'all if I had children for real. I wouldn't tell y'all if I had, like, no, like, it has to be like a boundary, because niggas is weird. Niggas is fucking weird. Or if y'all knew, I wouldn't like publicly display it for you to analyze. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, but due to whatever bureaucratic legal system that we had, nobody stepped in, and she knew that.
You want to keep calling CPS or the police? I don't care. Keep calling them. Call.
But so now we sit here today where Chrisean Rock is on a platform saying that her son doesn't have a disability, and no one can tell her different. Not the people who watched her crash out for the past couple of years, not for the people that watched her literally drink and smoke and consume other drugs while being pregnant, and not even by the doctor who told her months in advance of her having the baby, while living in a state that had a lengthy timetable for when you can and cannot get rid of a baby. What makes the situation even worse is that we're not just talking about how the baby was treated and handled while she was...
I don't know what, I think the reason, I think it's a medical reason maybe, or is it just like a legal reason? I don't know. I think it's a medical reason. Like, if the baby develops to a certain point, you can't just get rid of the baby. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Pregnant. There'd probably be some grace afforded to her if, you know, once the baby popped up in her hands, she instantly flipped script and now she was being mommy of the year. The reality of the situation is that she is
probably
still handling this child and her lifestyle in a terrible, terrible way. Just last September, Chrisean Rock had to face police and CPS because her and her boyfriend Bino trashed a hotel room, leaving behind empty liquor bottles and whippet cans. The reason why CPS had to be involved is because Chrisean Jr., the baby in question, the one that people are waiting to sit up and walk and do all these other things, was in her custody and in her care. And if you're thinking that that would be the straw that stirs the drink as far as getting that baby out of that situation, well, you would be dead wrong. Because for what it's worth, Chrisean Rock still has custody.
I still don't know what whippets are. I've heard it float around for like a while now. But I still don't know what that is. I'm like, and I don't care to know, but
of said child, even though there are continuous, and I do mean continuous, dangerous environments in which this baby is set up in. And the only thing that fills the air in this conversation at this point is just sadness. Not just from me, but from people around.
If you cause a harm to somebody and that will cause them a disability, you get sued to fucking death, you go to jail, right? So how come, why can you give a child a lifelong ailment deliberately and it's all okay?
Rejecting the word of science and medicine when it clearly and literally verbatim says, hey, listen, supposedly the child was showing signs of being impaired early and she ignored it. I hope you don't go to God to think that, okay, all right, God, forget what they're saying. You just give me a different result. I think that's sad because if that's the way you're going to take things, you're probably going to forego some of the necessary treatments or rehab or whatever the kid's going to need some shit.
Earlier, I made the claim that Chrisean Rock was in some sort
yeah, that's all I said. The only, I can't speak on her child. That's literally just not my place. But I pray that she does do the proper research. And if she doesn't want to believe one doctor, at least get multiple opinions. And if there is something, make a plan to make sure that he can live the longest, healthiest, beautifulest life. You know what I'm saying? And that's not even just with Chrisean's kid. I think that's with every child in the world. I believe that. Like, your only job as a parent is to make sure your kid grows into having a beautiful life. Literally, just period, baseline. Till they grow to, so they can have a beautiful life and they can experience it and live it. And you know what I'm saying? So you have to do what you have to do as a parent to take the proper steps to make sure that can happen. So I hope, and I don't know his diagnosis, I don't know what the doctors are saying, that she's just not ignoring completely everything if there are some things that, you know, need to be taking place. Even if it's therapy for her. You know what I'm saying? She might need some therapy so she could be the best mom she could be. You know what I'm saying? You know how whipped cream sounds when the air that pushes it out? Imagine it's just that air and you inhale it for a quick high. Oh my God, that sounds like some shit like a middle schooler would do.
Of religious psychosis. And I want to put something in front of that before I make that claim, because I do still believe it to be true. But something that DJ Academic said actually resonated with me. And maybe I can introduce a level of human into this conversation. Yes, Chrisean is an addict, and I do believe that she is doing terrible things, not only to the child, but herself. But ultimately, she seems to be a parent nonetheless. And this is somebody who wants an answer. They have a problem they want to solve. They need an answer to their questions, and they're still holding out on hope. It's straight up denial. And being in the conversations with parents who have children who have disabilities, I understand that this is a part of the journey that does go on. She just so happens to be going through it in public. She's turned away from the communal warning signs and then sought medical help and attention. And when they didn't give her the answers that she wanted, she's turned away from the communal warnings and signs. And after that, she went to the medical side of things. And when they didn't give her the answers that she wanted or desired about her child, she has now turned to religion to give her some sort of comfort or some sort of, answer in the question. And I guess only until all of the answers line up and reveal that she is the problem, Chrisean Rock will still be living the same life that she continues and wants to live. And at the end of the day, the only one that's going to suffer is the baby. The baby is suffering because there seems to be a continued pattern of addiction and abuse that they have to live in that ultimately will plague them for the rest of their natural born lives. It's quite disgusting, and I wish somebody would step in.
Words of Omizi, bro. Words of Omizi. Yeah, like I said, I pretty much said it all. I just hope, you know what I'm saying, her kid, and it doesn't have to be for public eye. I think that's where some of y'all are getting messed up at. We do not need to see this child grow and develop in real time to make sure that he's okay at every second and every step of the way. That's not our place. That's not our job. We're not his family members. We're not his friends. We're not nothing. But I just do hope, and it is in the air, that she is, making sure and it's on the right path of making sure that her child gets everything he needs, if he needs anything. I'm not the doctor. You know what I'm saying? W video though. W fucking video.